I don't like how your camera is so far away from us, Will. It's like I'm a voyeur in your house. Like I shouldn't be watching you. I see your toes. I feel like I'm seeing way too much information.
Hey
Can we
man,
zoom in?
this is my headquarters. That's why. You gotta see all my stuff.
This does seem like we're watching you work and we're not doing a show right now.
Like yeah, like we like hey, yo look at the security camera. I promise you he's working. Look at him.
I promise you he's working. Look at him.
And then I start becoming self-aware. Just
Truman Show City.
Man, you come straight out of a comic.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Straight Out of a Comic Book. I'm your host, Will Pharaoh, and of course today we got Captain Keloid Esquire, Dion in the building, and CT, who is always dope. I wish you could put the always and stuff like that now, but that's too much to type.
It's too wordy. People aren't all there.
Yeah. But as I said, CT is always dope. And y'all know we back with some more of your favorite talk about comic books, movies, pop culture, entertainment, the whole nine. And today's episode is no different. And so I want to jump immediately into it and start off with the hot topic, which is now Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mutant Mayhem. The new trailer has dropped. Seth Rogen has shown us that he does do acid, and that's why he decided to put it on this movie. And I'm not gonna lie though, it's growing on me after seeing the trailer.
Yeah.
It's going on.
I think this is a rumor, but I think it's the same illustrators of the Spider-Verse, right?
Well, Sony Animation.
The same art style.
Sony Animation.
The comic book art style, man. The drawing, man.
So listen, that answer shut down every possibility of a rumor you heard. Sony Animation is behind this Paramount property.
I'm certain if I look up Sony Animation projects, they don't only do that style.
Look it up.
Yeah.
You really back yourself into a corner, boy.
You can put the fire to the toes. Huh?
Speaking of which, hey, Will Pharaoh, let me ask you something, man. This Sunday, what'd you do? This past Sunday? Okay. You know what you didn't do, Will Pharaoh, is get invited to Dion Lack's birthday party that he had on Sunday. And, speaking of him having a birthday party on Sunday, it's crazy. I marked his birthday on my calendar, Will Pharaoh, and I was like, man, let me make sure I reach out to Dion Lack and just say happy birthday, Yeah. Call him. It's loud as hell in the background. I say, hey, wait, what's up, man? He's like, hey, what up? I say, hey, man, just wanted to call him, wish you happy birthday. I didn't want to text it. He's like, oh, man, thank you so much, man. I was like, yeah, so what you doing? And he was like, oh, man, just had a few people over, man. We just, celebrating all of that. And I'm like, oh, that's what's up. So I just want to know if you were there as well, Will, because if you were there, I would have to fight this nigga. But since you were not there, I
was not there, and I did the complete actual opposite because you were like, I called him because I didn't want to text him. I knew of the birthday, and I didn't want to call, so he asked, were you coming? I'm like, I'm going to send the text because I was like, I'm not getting out this bed.
How about that?
But I also I did not get an invitation. I saw it on Instagram. And so I also have been told, though, because, we're in this new century now, that counts as getting sent an invitation.
No,
and I'm still 50-50 about that.
Not at all. Because the algorithm, let me show you how. I'm glad you said that, Will Pharaoh. So glad you said that. I didn't see that post until Sunday night at 11:30 when I refreshed my timeline. So that's how the algorithm works. So you never should post an invite online. You should always reach out to the people that are close to you. You put that up for fans or for people that might not have your phone number. But people that you've been in their home and you've shot content and spent, especially you spent last birthday with the nigga. That's when you want to make sure you get reached out to. But hey, man, it's his birthday. He get a chance to invite who he wants to have around. You understand, Will?
Hey, you Will.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles, man.
Yo, Will. Let me ask you something.
What's happening?
Ant-Man Quantumanium. The movie came out a couple weeks ago. Where were you when that movie was coming out? And did you get an invite? Like we got invited to the last 15 Marvel DC movies that that we got invited from CT. Because I thought maybe he's not going this time. So now I see the pictures online and I see a plethora of niggas that I was like, oh, this nigga got invited. Oh wow, he was the 17th man when we were playing soccer. Wow, I don't even know this nigga's name. Wow. He got it. Oh, they went to the 4DK. Okay, wow, they got all the K's in this one.
Yeah, we got all the K's.
Glasses, huh? They got the shit sprayed on them. Okay, they was in the Quantum Manium.
I turned mine off, but yeah, you can get the spray on.
I turned mine off.
I give you one more, Will. I'm gonna answer that. So Will did not get an invite. I'm gonna, for those of you guys who are watching, let me clear this up because you're probably sitting there like, man, not only is Dion a deflector, but this guy CT is a villain. I'm not. Allow me to explain. For the past 2.5 years,
yes,
of films, comic book movies that have come out, I have taken it upon myself to buy about 10 to 20 tickets and invite my close friends and people that I know are into comic book films to go see them with me, right? About 4 or 5 months ago, I decided, you know what? I'm not buying niggas tickets no more. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see if there's a movie that comes up and people invite me. 2, if they say, hey, that movie's coming out, are we going to see it? And 3, this past Quantum Mania, I didn't pay for nobody's ticket. I was just like, hey, we're going to be at this theater. Get your tickets if you want to come. And those are the people that showed up. Ironically, completely different group than the people's tickets that I have been providing. And that is the world that we live in, folks. So and back to Dion's birthday party.
And let me piggyback off my birthday.
Go ahead.
Friday night, Twilla asked me, what do you want to do for your birthday? Who's my best friend? I said, you know what, dude? We need to catch up on some P-Valley. Let's just watch the season 2. And she's like, no, dude, let's celebrate yourself. We're supposed to be doing on Sunday. I said, I'm only doing is shooting a podcast with Chaz. That's what we already had scheduled. We're gonna do it on my birthday. It's like, well, let's make that whole thing a day. Let's make that whole thing a day and have people coming in. And I'm like, gosh, I was like, the thought of it is like is exhausting. I gotta, get a bigger camera. I gotta do all this stuff. I gotta, I can't shoot a bunch of content on my laptop. Because if people coming in, people have their head like, hey, what's going on? It's me. So I was like, I'd rather have a whole camera set up. She's like, well, just whoever comes. And I'll just have like refreshments. My girls came, Chaz came, Nene came. That's it.
You know who could have came? Me.
Yeah. I'm honest. It was one of those embarrassing things. It was like, I don't really have anything big planned. I was like, I really just wanted to have like a movie, like a Marvel movie day, just to watch movies all day. And the people that came, and it was one of those, what if nobody comes and we got all this food? And it happened. We got a bunch of food and about 10 people came. You're right. Sending out the invites would have been, I felt like it was a last minute thing. It would have been a last minute thing because it was like a Friday night, Saturday morning thing. You sure? For sure. I could have definitely invited the same people, but I didn't.
I'm gonna make it even worse, and then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna give you this because I really want this to sink into his skin. I had your birthday on my calendar so much so, Dion, that
you removed it.
That I said no.
2024. I ain't seen it on that.
Wow. Nigga, you are dead.
I had his birthday on my calendar so much so that I made sure to not make plans on Sunday because I said, it's Dion's birthday. Surely he's going to tell me what he wants to do. So I'll just wait for that. So when I called and I heard that, I said, I could have been out of town. The audacity.
Yo, I didn't even tell Chaz and he was there.
Well, because you do a podcast together. I'm discounting Chaz. He wouldn't have came if you just posted.
It's like, but you know what it sounds like? It sounds like both of y'all kind of pivot to y'all original stuff. Because like even for UCT, you changed up your dynamic and stuff. Which, by the way, on the side note, I'm glad you did now because now I know to like invite you. Normally, I wouldn't invite you to go watch stuff because I know you throw the parties, and so it's like, and I know I go random times. But now that I know that you don't do it like that no more, I'll just start inviting you when I go.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? As long as if it's, you know, I'm down. I'm always down, especially if the time lines up.
Yeah, but see, y'all changed y'all stuff up a little bit, and so you know, like Dion didn't plan shit. It was just like, yo, I'm gonna work, and it's like, nah, your best friend gonna throw something. So it's just like,
to piggyback off of last year 40th. Didn't I say I didn't want to do a 40th birthday party?
And Twilla was like, same thing today. She was like, yo, you need to do something, let people celebrate you.
You.
He said, cool. Nah.
But you definitely should have sent something. If this is MySpace, I am sure CT is in your top 20 on your MySpace page. If this was 2006.
I'm definitely in this top 7. And if I'm not, I'm beating the shit out of whoever is to make me number 6 or 7.
That deserves an invitation, I will say.
It's got to be, let me tell you Dion's important people in his life, bro. It is both his daughters, Twilla. That's 3. All right. Outside of them, an argument can be made for him being closer with Chaz than he is me. But after that, you got Kareem. That's 5. And then number 6 would be number 6 would probably be maybe Tone Bell. Maybe, but he's not closer with him than I am. So these are the people. Anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How about it, fellas?
Yes. Before we jump into that, maybe there's a solution. Maybe
Will ain't shit.
Well, y'all were brought this amongst the chaos journey, so
it needs to be said.
maybe we go see something together and celebrate Dion's birthday as well.
The Jason Statham movie. I ain't seen that yet.
There we go.
Jason Statham got a new movie. His movies always hit.
Yeah, I don't even be knowing what they are, and I still don't see it.
And because you know it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Somebody getting their ass whooped, and it's gonna be something dope.
Whew.
You know, it's funny. He hasn't changed his accent. He hasn't changed any of his styles of movies. He hasn't done a romantic comedy. He hasn't done.
No, he did a romantic comedy. Don't do that.
Which one?
Crank.
Hilarious. That's a good point.
That's a romantic comedy. Don't do that.
That's a romantic comedy.
That nigga was surviving.
Yeah,
by any means necessary too.
For love.
He smashed her in a baseball field, bro, and they
in front of everybody,
just to keep his heart rate up. It was brilliant.
So the greatest love comedies ever.
That is a great point. They did 2 of those, didn't they?
They did 3 of those, I think.
No, they
3 cranks? I know they did 2.
I may be wrong. I swear though.
For sure. I didn't see a 3rd one. That's a great cast.
Yeah, Crank 2, High Voltage.
Crank. He did 2 of them cranks, boy. I saw both of them.
They brought this nigga back alive.
And now you missing this. Like, wait a minute. Did somebody just make a movie about Operation and just put action in
it? Bro, you can make any movie with Jason Statham and it'd be better. Like, if you make a movie that's trash and you throw him in it, it's going to sound amazing. Yeah. You're like, all right, bet. So we want to do a sequel to Titanic. Okay? You're like, oh my God. Okay, so pick. Yeah. This is when the ship goes down, right? All the pieces are going. This is when Jack starts to go into the water. Out of nowhere, Jason Statham comes back up with Jack, right? And then you're like, tell me more.
Look, that's definitely when the movie dude with the glasses be like this, just CT, you son of a bitch, you've done it again. Let's get it rolling, y'all. Let's get it going.
Give him $30 million. I want to see this go right now.
Oh, he's saved the day again.
He's the best, bro. And then with the Meg,
he has been 42 for 19 years. Bro. He has that same look, man.
I was like, how do you have a receding hair that still don't leave?
Man.
Like that bald just won't bald.
And they even do the honor by giving him more hair for a movie. Like give him like a buzz cut or box cut, Gaio cut.
Has he?
No, I haven't. I can't picture him in no movies without that.
No, I think if they did, it was like flashbacks or something like that. Like kind of like like how they do the little Family Guy spoofs and stuff. I think it may have been something like that in the movie. But you're right, there ain't never been no full thing where he just had all these all the way to his chest and shit. Just
it was one movie he had a wig, and I was like, that's a hilarious wig. I think it was it was a movie where he was playing, of course, a bodyguard of somebody, and he had a wig on, but it was a flashback. And then, present day, he had the baldy.
It was kind of like brownish a little bit, right? Almost with a hint of
yes.
I think we think about the same movie.
Yeah, something to do with his it was a really good movie too.
Yeah,
I see all his movies.
Yeah, and it was something with a flashback. So that's the only thing I can recall.
I typed in Jason Statham with, they said hair. Got you.
Got you.
Don't worry, we've all been wondering.
They got a couple of them.
That's the one I see. Perfect. Yeah, the one right there to the top left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see what that is. That's funny. Yeah, he got like a long hair down to his shoulders.
He's the best.
He's the best.
He's the best, bro. Like, think of it.
He's the unofficial. He's like the unofficial. Like, they don't do action stars no more. But It was like, if there's an action star like Schwarzenegger and them, it's Statham.
It's Statham, bro. There's nobody on his level right now.
The Rock?
No.
Because The Rock I don't count The Rock as an action star. I count The Rock as someone who's built like an action star that just does movies.
The funny thing is how they always try to justify why this nigga so big on The Rock. like what? How'd you get here? I did 10 years in Nam before I got injured.
Yeah.
Now I'm
like Central Intelligence did not need that whole backstory. But like, yo, I used to be fat, then I started, just look away. No one cares, bro. Like, we know who you are.
We know who you are. But they be trying to make it make sense for people who don't know The Rock. And it's like, nah, you could just be a yoked ass actor. That's what I want to see, bro. Bring that back. Bring back real size people in movies, bro. One of the movies, what show, Mike and Molly, I remember they were getting a lot of press before it aired, and they said that these two were regular people, even though Billy Gardell has been a comedian for 20 years before that. And, Melissa McCarthy had already been in the business for so long, but they were like, yeah, there's a new show, Mike and Molly, coming out with these two stars that are, just like regular people. And, they're not actors, but they're going to be in a sitcom. And I was like, that, first of all, that doesn't make sense. You're not going to hire normal people to act who've never acted because people wouldn't watch that show. So these people are actors, but you're saying regular looking people because they're not the Hollywood standard of what you think they should look like. And I love seeing regular body people because that's what represents America.
Yeah.
We need more Adam Sandlers.
Facts.
So much money to start making movies. That's it. Because we gave it to Seth, and then Seth kind of went too far. It's like, all right.
Seth went too far.
Yeah, like,
Seth went
them ain't us. Yeah. We ain't going to get into it, but like, you took the wrong exit. Yeah, you went a little too far.
But speaking look normal. I think if you were bad, the whole crew would look normal. They definitely
that's not what he's talking
about.
That's not when we say he took that turn.
Yeah, he took
not that movie. Yeah,
not that one.
I could say the movie. I ain't gonna say, but even CT will say yes. That's when that turn started.
Yeah, say that.
But speaking of Seth, he is one of the covers of our hot topic, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So there's a new one coming out, and so first thing I want to know is from two people who have been fans of this franchise for so long.
Man,
how do y'all feel about the consistent rebooting of this franchise?
Dion, you can go first.
I think it's needed because I've been a fan since '85. Ironically, I don't know why I never thought about this. This is the first time hearing teenagers. Like, I went back to the originals, like, these are grown-ass, these are middle-aged adults. I was like, all these are men. This is the first voice-sounding teenagers. And I'm like, they should be children. They should be doing childish stuff. Like a lot of I started to like kind of like think like, okay, the one from the cartoons, they were like, I would say they were late teenagers, maybe 20s, like vibing, looking at like the things they were doing. They weren't doing like stupid stuff. Then like the cartoon, then the movie, I was like, I would still say 20s. They were still making wise decisions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, the reboot came out, and I was like, these were all old. They were not teenagers.
No, it was grown ass turtles.
Like the one that just came out in like 2018.
Yeah.
Grown at Raphael was a 47.
Yeah. He said, "What does teenager about them?"
They got teenagers. They ain't teenagers themselves.
Yeah.
We got teenagers and we are mutant turtles. That I feel like I agree with that 100%. So yes, and this is animated. So the possibilities are endless compared to live action where I don't think anybody would be happy. Although I think I'm one of the few fans of the second Ninja Turtles movie that came out recently. I don't think it was Michael Bay. That second one was somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with Crane.
Yeah. So like I like that one, but a lot of people are still like, no. And that's because everybody really wants to see an animated one because you can go further. It's kind of like a Dragon Ball Z movie. It can only be animated because of what you have to do to make it believable. You cannot have a human being be Goku or Vegeta. It's impossible. So animated is the way to go. But as a Turtles fan, I like that live action aspect.
Man, I do too.
Yeah,
I fucks with both of the first one with the Michael Bay one with Megan. What's the last name?
Fox.
Megan something.
Megan Fox.
I liked them, but I feel like they never used their weapons. They just kind of like swung, but never actually struck. I mean, if this is gonna be like a live action, gritty Michael Bay, I kind of wish they can at least spot some like robot drones, but they never use their weapons. And I love the dynamics of Donatello being the tallest but the skinniest, Leonardo being like the leader, but Raphael was a stocky. They all had different personalities, and I like that. People didn't like how real they face looked, and it was like, man,
let's say it for what it was. They gave them niggas noses, and we didn't like that shit.
We didn't like that.
Shit.
Turtles have noses, man.
No, not these turtles. These turtles are flat, smooth nose faced turtles, and that's what we wanted. Somebody even put up CGI of it where they took the nose out. They went with the original, and I was like, "Yo, if y'all have gave us this one, it'd have gave us that old school feel." But I understand why y'all chose it, so you can differentiate the different type of species of turtles the Ninja Turtles were, because they all weren't the same turtles.
Nigga, I didn't know that.
Don't forget, you just put me up on knowledge. I appreciate that, Will. But don't forget that these are mutant turtles. So no matter what nose they had to be mutated.
It was
Yeah.
muties.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We speak.
Yeah. Because Michael Bay did what he was supposed to do. Like, we're giving you millions of dollars. We need you to make this look flashy. It's turtles. It's like, cool. And we touched on all the points we're supposed to touch on too. It felt like when X-Men first came out, when Spider-Man first came out, it's like you did what the company needed you to do. But for us as fans, there was something still kind of missing.
Yeah.
The fan aspect, and when we get into these films, man, the fan aspect has only gotten more polished because we've gotten more vocal over the past 20 years. And I say 20, actually it's 23 years because X-Men came out in 2000 or 99.
I think 2000.
I think 2000. It was the first, like, what?
2000.
And when it came out, everybody was just excited to see it on screen. So we weren't really nitpicky. And if we were, there was no way to communicate that because the social media wasn't around. So as the years came along, and then you get Daredevil, and the Daredevil director recently came up and apologized because he said, I was trying to shoehorn so much into that movie. I was trying to give you an origin story for Daredevil, origin story of Elektra. And I was like, that's why I felt like Elektra had two movies because it was, you know what I mean? Like that movie was so, it was just too much. But anyway, so fans are the ones who have dictated that, yo, this has to be accurate. This doesn't look like this. So people, if Michael Bay would have dropped those movies early 2000s, he would be held just like Sam Raimi is for the first two Spider-Man, because that's what we wanted at that time. Nowadays, we want things that are much more accurate. We want to see, just like you guys watch The Last of Us, you want to see The Last of Us version of every superhero movie. You want it to be from page to screen.
Yeah.
Yep. You can differentiate a little bit too.
Tell me that Splinter and Shredder fight wasn't fire in that reboot.
But that was the thing of like how you said it wasn't enough fighting. And that's the thing I think that kind of took it away, was like, yo, Shredder ain't no joke. Like when you read the comics, like Shredder ain't nothing to play with. Like it takes mutant turtles to defeat this person. Yeah. And so it was like, this was the one where you saw it was like, yo, Shredder ain't no joke. And
I wish the Foot Clan was robots, because then they can show them like actually killing and beating. They never used their weapons. They was using their weapons to pry open doors and like to do flips and stuff. Like, man,
all that sword play, Leonardo was like, you didn't slice nobody this whole film.
That's what I wanted to see.
That's what you see in the cartoon. In the cartoon, you saw them use their weapons and go against certain robots or drones, but when they fought the Klan, they weren't doing it, you know what I'm saying, with the weapons like that. You would see Donatello more, you would see Michelangelo, but you would never see Leo slicing nobody, or Raphael with that, you know what I mean?
Not at all. It's like, okay, y'all take care of the humans, we're gonna take care of these robots.
Yeah.
Which,
I do remember that.
Yeah, but it makes sense because it was for like cartoons, and so even back then, like in the 90s, they did that so you don't show blood to kids. So that's why a lot of stuff was robots. Like CT used to tell us. So I get that. But it was just like, this would have been the time where this could have really focused on a lot of their fighting style and showing them training and stuff to be able to give us more of an impact. Like Michael Bay went what he went for was like the flashy, high impact. And it was just like, okay, cool. But there could have been a lot of grit to this, a lot of espionage type stuff, but them sneaking into like these Foot Clan spots. Because like it was like we didn't even really see them investigate when Splinter got taken. I mean, when Splinter got taken, it was like, in the first one.
You talking about 91 or you talking
about no, the most recent one.
Okay, yeah.
Like, cause they didn't really investigate after he got messed up.
Yeah,
that's the rule. You're allowed to, when it comes to blood. If it's alien blood, then that's a different color than red. You could do any color other than red, and you can show some of the most violent scenes possible. I swear, look at Avengers 1. Like it was violent. If you replace that blue blood for red, just go back and watch Avengers 1 and in your mind, change the blood to red and realize that movie should have been rated R. But if you change the color of blood, it's PG, baby.
Yeah, that's what they did on Suicide Squad, the first one.
Yep.
He blew up into dust. I was like,
Or they had like the little black things of blood and stuff. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
that was red though. Oh, this would be a whole different story.
Oh, if it was red. I don't know why. Censors are ridiculous to me, bro. Like working in TV for so long and talking to standards and practices, so many of them are idiots. Some of them are really good, but some of them are like they can't answer a question like, hey, why can I cut an alien's head off and his blood is green and that's okay? But I can't cut a human alien head. I mean, I can't cut a human being's head off and it show red. Why is that not okay? It's the exact same concept.
Because like if it's like, you know, if you see me vomit, that will make people like, you know, they get triggered from that. So if I cut off a teddy bear's hair, you see like cotton comes out, you're like, that's adorable. But if you actually see you be like,
ridiculous. You're absolutely right, but that's crazy.
But you gotta remember too, like the main market that they are pitching to, that middle American stuff, they're still very traditional, still very religious based too. And so they apply all of that stuff to those rules and shit. Like for us, like we don't mind. Like we was watching The Replacement Killer when we were 7, so it's just like we bout it. But like for little Timmy, that's our same age, he having nightmares and stuff like that about this because he just seen somebody get their head sliced off.
You want to hear a nightmare? Have y'all played Hogwarts Legacy yet?
Yes.
Did you finish it?
I did not. No.
I just finished it yesterday. And by finish it, let me tell you something. Dion, first, do you play video games, Dion? Okay.
Oculus.
You over there watching porn. So, Will, when you get to Hogwarts Legacy towards the ending, I'll tell you, take your time, because if you do your side quest and your main quest, by the time you finish the game, you'll be like me and have completed everything. And you're like, I should have paced myself out more, right? But the game is crazy when there's this one part where you get offered to buy a shop. They offer you to buy a shop, and when you buy the shop, there's a mission that has you go downstairs into this. The game changes for this mission. Think Scare. It's a cross between Scarecrow and Mysterio. That mission, it'll blow your mind. Don't play that mission at night, because I played that shit at night, and I said, "What the fuck?" I couldn't go to sleep until I finished it because I knew I would be fucked up in my dreams. I gotta be honest with you. I want to touch on the things that you said that we're touching on today, but I thought we were talking about Creed 3 because I have some thoughts.
There it is.
I have not seen Creed 3.
You are out of pocket, bro.
I am out of pocket because this is what. And you know what? Dog? I know I'm gonna catch slack for this, but I gotta say it.
What?
This is why you don't go to the movies with women that ain't your girlfriend.
What happened?
Because they don't care. And so they'll put this stuff off. Like, I was supposed to go to the movies opening weekend. Mm-hmm. She wasn't able to do it, and then I'll give it to the next day because she got sick. So I'll give her that. And so now you know how like all of us we get busy throughout the week. Like, hey, when do you want to go see it? Oh, let's try for it. As soon as the chick say try for it, we ain't doing it. It's not happening.
It's a wrap.
Be like, let's see if then the second one is I can either do in the morning time or I can do afternoon. You ain't doing neither one of them times because you ain't decided yet. So we know we ain't getting to that day. Mm-hmm. Now it's Wednesday, and I still ain't seen Jonathan Majors and Killmonger fight each other.
Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers, obviously. I'm not that type of guy, but I will say Jonathan Majors is a star. I will also say Michael B. Jordan has now crossed over into seeing the business side of Hollywood, right? He's gotten out of, he's never had an ego, but a lot of times as actors, as comedians, as writers, producers, we get into the ego mode of I'm occupying a certain space in this business, right? A la Arnold Schwarzenegger, Will Smith, Sylvester Stallone. When you become these massive people in Hollywood, you don't really want somebody else who could occupy that space in your space while you're occupying it. However, when you take that ego out of it and you realize how much money you can make, the money, and that's what Michael B. Jordan, in this movie, you will see Michael B. Jordan has become a full-on businessman. Because right now, what everybody's talking about in the world, black, white, Cuban, Asian, all of this, is Jonathan Majors. And Jonathan Majors is in this movie. And Michael B. Jordan reaps all the benefits of everybody in this movie.
Yeah. And I've heard that he's like not even just to that point, but then also too, like, you know, kind of like how we get end credits at Marvel. Like, bro, you've opened something that most haven't. Like, you've given yourself a lane like a Jordan Peele. Like, if you play it right, you found a successful way to low-key make live action anime without disrespecting anime. Mm-hmm. That's a whole lane he can go down that gives us some variety if he chose to want to do that. But I heard that's what one of these things in this movie, like, you really take away. I've seen a lot of people online talking about just like the anime aspect, all the references he's used, how much he's dedicated there. Because there's like one anime that's like a boxing anime that he definitely took a lot of that stuff from. But they said, you know, like, no, I've not seen anyone go like, yo, oh, he messed it up, he done that. They're just like, nah, bro, you did that. And you showed Jonathan Majors and you let him shine on this.
I'm going to give you this. I'm going to say this because you haven't seen it. I'm going to say Michael B. Jordan, and this is for one of the clips because, Will, you do an amazing job with these clips. Michael B. Jordan, I know You've probably thought of this, but this is something that you have to do.
Take off the glasses.
Exactly. Spin that character off in Creed. Spin Dame's character off. Do another film where now you show his inception going into prison and you show how he rose up the ranks. Maybe the guards had a little jail fighting ring and that's how he was able to stay out of trouble and keep his head down for those years. If you don't want to do a full-on movie like that, have him getting ready for his next fight in present day. Do a Godfather 2, show him having flashbacks of when he went to prison and having those fights, and bam, go from there. That's all I'm gonna say.
They already got that franchise and it'd be set up perfect for them to do.
Yeah.
Reboot Undisputed.
You know
And have it follow him, because you can bring everybody. You can bring Wesley, you can bring Michael Jai White, you can bring Boyka, you can bring Vin, you can bring all of them people into that world and reboot Undisputed and tell it from his side.
That's a great point. That's a great, but then that's also universe crossing, because I still want the character of Dame from Creed within that. But I definitely feel like Jonathan Majors is just getting started. He's gonna get all the franchises.
Two things. I'm actually curious to know what his 2021, 22, and 23 was like. When did he film Devotion, Loki 1, Ant-Man, Creed 2? Was there ever any crossovers? Because when you have this much back-to-back, and I know he's still shooting stuff from other films right now, but he's also doing press conferences for all the other movies that just came out. And in each one of these movies that just came out, he has different accents, different characters. And when he played this Los Angeles character in Creed 3, I was like, I believe this dude.
I believed him.
I believed him.
I believe
him. Like institutionalized too. Like he was just kind of like, oh, you know how we do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this sounds like a nigga that was in jail for 15
That's
years.
also a horrible impression, but it was good for Dion. But it was, man, that movie, without giving anything to Will. Oh, Creed 3 is the best of the Creeds. Creed 1 and 2, let me tell you something. Creed 2 was good because that Drago dude was massive. And you're like, Jesus, in real life, this guy's huge.
They shouldn't have fought each other.
They shouldn't.
Different weight class.
Come on.
That's what I just did not understand, because I was like, wait, is this a professional boxing association in this movie? Because y'all walking out with the WBC championships, like, they didn't allow this fight to happen. Like, this, like, what is this?
6'5", 220, 250. Michael B. Jordan is 175, 5'11". I was like,
soaking wet. And when you look at, so Creed 1 was more of a Rocky movie, because it's like, oh, Rocky's back in the game. They were all focused on Rocky, respect to Sylvester Stallone, he created it. Then you look at Creed 2. Creed 2 was like neither of these movies had really set him up to be this champion that had been killing everything and winning and all of that. And Creed 3, go see Creed 3. Will I just
yeah, because I got the first two.
Real quick. How would you feel if the Drago fight would have been like all the action that happened, but the actual Drago fight was the third movie and Damian was the second movie? It
would have made way more sense, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Like, you killed my father. Now I have to.
Well, he didn't, but his dad did.
Yeah.
So this is what it should have been.
Because the second movie, I was like, this. I see why you like. I got to fight.
Yeah. The second movie, bro. If the third movie would have been the second, because the third movie just made sense for the character of Creed. That's why it's the best in the franchise. The first two, there are so many plot holes in, because one, I get it. This is Apollo's illegitimate son through another woman, but where's that woman? Also, you recast.
Oh, she died.
No, I know, but I'm saying you didn't show me any flag. Like, so when I see Felicia Rashad, she was recast from the original woman who played Apollo's wife. Rest in peace. She passed away as well. But it's too many holes. It's like, all right, so what reason? Okay, so she just wants to have a piece of Apollo, and this is the biggest plot hole. Apollo had two other kids. They didn't even show them in these Creed movies. In none of them. That's one spoiler I get you. They still ain't showed these kids. If you Google,
okay, you answered the question for me about that one too, so never mind.
If you Google Apollo Creed's children, I swear to God, it will say Adonis Creed, unnamed son, unnamed daughter. That's what it says. That's how little they cared about those characters. Yeah. So if you'd have switched 2 and 3, would have made perfect sense. However, Apollo fighting Drago, I would love to have seen that now because they built it. It was too fast.
With this Creed, so would you say Creed's 3 would have been way better to fight Drago?
Yes, because now you've built up his legacy. Whereas what you'll see in part 3 is something where it's almost like
still worked. I kind of feel like the stories could have still worked, but the actual fights, I think they should have swapped the fights.
Well, not Dion, to your point now, like even just not even like how you like CT not giving too much away. It does make sense because now at this time it's like, hey, you've built everything up. Because even in 2, we saw him become world champ. It's not like he took over already and it was everything there. It's like, no, like especially the way Drago was pushing his son to be. It's like, yo, we want to take everything away from him. It's like, yo, if that would have been saved till 3, and then to see him lose and to like get injured like he was. That storyline would have been dope for the 3rd one. And then, but the problem was 2 was technically Rocky's redemption. And so it's like, yo, you have to deal with the ghosts of my past. And you're not sure if he wants to do another one. And so that's kind of like the Montreal school job and shit. You're not sure what Sylvester Stallone wants to do next. So it's like, okay, we got to kind of get this story out. Mm-hmm. And now that we know, like, hey, you didn't want to do the 3rd one, it's like, dang, you see, like if you just play ball, we could have had this really lined up to be a dope franchise. Even though it is, not to take away from it. It is a dope franchise.
Here's one of the plot holes that I love. It had nothing to do with the movies. Apollo Creed died in 1985.
Yeah. Yes.
So even if he bust a nut that morning,
yes.
Adonis should have been.
Come on, man.
39 right now,
bro. Listen, man. Flat out, bro. Let's just call a spade a spade. I get it. You want Michael B. Jordan? He's on fire in what is this? 2013. The first one came out.
Yeah.
I love Michael B. Jordan, bro. Michael B. Jordan at the time of him getting Creed was the only guy that I can see doing it. However, this is the biggest plot hole, and I had this conversation on my stream yesterday. It was a hole in the writing for them to have killed Apollo Creed, bro. He should have never died because Apollo Creed died in Rocky 3?
4.
He died in Rocky 4. No. Yeah, he did. Okay. He died in Rocky 4. When he died in Rocky 4, it didn't need to happen. He could have just been paralyzed. He could have been in a coma for the whole movie. You still get the exact same outcome for Sylvester Stallone being like, you hurt my friend. You ruined him. We don't even know if he's going to live or die. I got to beat you. Right. Mm-hmm. Also, Apollo Creed was Sylvester Stallone's Rocky's only friend. He was the one that they had become rivals, and he always kept him in the game. He kept his head on straight. He's the one that kept, like, this is the one I could talk to. When they came back and did Rocky Balboa, Rocky is all alone. They realized that Rocky needed a character to bounce off of. Adrian was gone, so they made him befriend a little girl who had become an older woman in the neighborhood because he got this restaurant, and he's trying to be good to her son. And he's like, hey, you know, I just want to be there for you, like that kind of thing. It's like, come on,
you gotta throw it like this. It's like,
give me the baton. Yo, this nigga got brain damage in 1985. Rocky Balboa got brain damage in 1985, as in he didn't know where he was at. So from Rocky 4, he still fought Tommy.
In 5,
the guy who was training. Bare knuckles.
Dion,
get you off.
Every time he got hit, he kept getting flashbacks to the Russian dude.
Very fast. Yeah.
Then he got back into a simulation with a real boxer for Rocky Balboa. And then he has another movie with 2 more movies of Creed. You should be a vegetable.
Yo, that make that Adrian scream so much more funnier now.
Yeah.
Because he really looking for Adrian. Like, your brain is out.
He should have been deteriorated, boy.
That Apollo Creed should have never died, because if he didn't die, now you got Creed 1 and 2 where he can still seek out Rocky because his dad can be this famed boxer and he wants to follow in his dad's footsteps, and his dad is like, I don't want you in that business. And he's like, man, whatever. I'm gonna find your rival and he's gonna teach me. And then you go to Rocky, and Rocky's like, yo, I don't know about this. And he's like, yo, my dad gave you a chance. Why don't you give me one? Yeah. And then he's like, then he talks to Apollo, and he's like, hey man, he's his own man. Do what he wants to do. End of the movie, Apollo respects the fact that Adonis has went out on his own. They become more, they got their relationship tight. Part 2 comes up, and now part 2, you can have Apollo die. You can have him die.
No, not yet.
I wanted him to die in 3, but I was like, well, maybe do we kill him? You know what I mean?
No, because here's the thing. I would have loved, because the thing is, like, to have 20 to 30 years of, like, the classic scene of him not dying but becoming, like, paralyzed, like him, like, being in a wheelchair and coming face to face with Drago, him sitting in a chair, Drago standing there, his son right there, the other Drago right there, like, yo, there, to have that conversation after 30 years, I would have wanted to see that.
Yeah.
But why y'all make it seem like they thought of that in 85? Like, I think we can keep
Well, obviously they didn't think about it in Creed 1 either, because he died in 1985, and somehow there's a 25-year-old kid that's his running around.
Which is crazy. It's like, how are we doing this? How did they explain that again, bro?
I don't think they did, because here's the thing. Did they ever say how old he was? Did they ever mention Creed's age?
In Rocky 2, you talking about
No. In the Creed films. Yeah, Michael B. Did they ever mention his age? Yeah.
So when they did the stats on Rocky 2, on Creed 2, they had said he was 29. Now, like, there's no way he could have been 29. This was in Creed 2.
Wait, when did Creed 2 come out?
I'll look at that right now.
Yeah.
Creed 2 came out in 2018, and they said he was how old?
29. What's the math of that?
Yeah, 2018.
He would be 33.
Yep.
And they said he was 29?
Yeah, 29. I pull up the stats for you. I watched my Cinema Sins. They definitely pointed it out. It was like you cannot, even if he was born the day of his death, conceived, it would have made it.
He died in 85, and they're saying Michael B. realistically, because Michael B. Jordan is how old?
In real life?
Yeah.
Like 33, 34.
Should be. Yeah, I think he should be the same age.
Here's the funny thing. In the movie...
Oh, no, he's my age. He's 35. Yeah, 87.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Actually 36. 36.
Yeah.
Actually
Me and Michael
36.
B the exact same age. So when I look at Michael B and I look at the character of Creed, I'm like, there's no way. I was born in 86. So when you see Creed died in 85, unless the woman that he cheated on his wife with held his sperm in a freezer, this doesn't make sense. They should have at least made because then he would be too old if they made him the actual son of Creed.
But then what's crazy about it is that you're only 3 years off. So it's like, why make him 29? Like, you could have just made him in his 30s. Like, we'd have been okay with that. Yeah, like mid-30s. It would have been an even better story because it's a 30-year-old trying to get into fighting.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole aspect, too. It's just like, even in the first one, I was like...
You're too old. I ain't training. You're too old.
And especially quitting the job. Like, the whole new, like, just got a raise, got a new position. Him being in his 30s would have impacted me more on that because it's like, hey, bro, you giving up your career to go fight?
Yo, how do you feel when your trainers say, you're too old, Rock? That man's a monster. He's gonna kill you. He said, "This is why I haven't let you fight him. He is a monster."
Like, I got it. I got it. I gotta do it.
Ass whooped.
Bro, Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 2, not Rocky 1, in Rocky 2 was so shredded. You're like, bro, how? If these aren't steroids, I don't know what are.
Yeah. Going back,
I respect it.
Now is comical. They're like, there's no way y'all doing nothing but power punches, no jabs, no. Let me rest for a second. It was all hooks, mass uppercuts. It was like
it wasn't no like none of this. It was none of the 1-2. It was
none of the 1-2.
Like, that's why you tired the third round.
Threw him across the ring. You should be disqualified.
You should. That's why I don't think I enjoyed the fighting in Rocky Balboa, because they used a real boxer, just like they used the one of the boxers was a real boxer in Creed 3. But when you cast real boxers, I know Tommy was a real boxer in Rocky 5 as well. But my point is, when you cast real boxers, the way that they shot Rocky Balboa was unlike a film style. Like, that's why I enjoyed Creed 1, 2, and 3. Because they at least shot it like a movie in comparison to Rocky Balboa. They shot that like it was truly a Showtime fight, like it was live. And I'm like,
it did kind of feel documentary style.
It felt weird.
It did feel like a special. The only thing we was missing was like the commercials.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, shoot this like a film. We got into this movie because he got a theme song. Creed ain't had a theme song.
And then right there, the Chili's commercial come in. Neighborhood fresh. The new baby back ribs in here for the summertime. Like,
bro, if the character is owned by MGM, why didn't Creed, if not have his own theme song, a remix to Rocky's? If not Rocky's.
So they didn't do that in 3?
Well, he didn't have it in any of the movies.
Okay, because see, so the first 2 I understood because it was the whole like letting his girlfriend, well, now wife in the show in the series, do his intro like that. I understood.
No, I'm not talking about intro. I'm talking about his theme song. When you heard every Rocky movie, it was like
running up the steps and stuff. Okay,
all of that.
Yeah,
they did an upgraded version with Ryan Coogler. It was like dun dun dun, and Smiles rapping on top of it. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when he's losing. The thing that made us buy into Rocky without y'all even realizing it, and I realize that y'all don't, as I'm saying this, the thing that made you love Rocky on top of everything else was when he was getting knocked down. He had that Popeye spinach moment, which was the theme music. And that theme music inspired and motivated and got us all hyped, and we wanted to see him win. Creed never had that. That's what I'm talking about. He had several different versions of a Rocky song to be played, yes. But when he's down and out, you don't hear that music.
No, they did it in one of them. It was very quick, though.
He was like he knocked out.
And he hit him, and then I think it was 2 because it went, but it did it real short.
Yeah,
it didn't keep going.
Rocky behind his neck is like, how many fingers I got up? He's like, 1.
Yeah, because he was bouncing back. No, I don't know if it was 1 or if it was 2. Yeah, but it did hit the like real quickly.
That's the only like when we go to the movies, Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel. I only hated the fact that he snapped his neck. But beyond that, the reason I couldn't fully get behind it in comparison to what they did in the Black Adam cameo for Superman was they had never played the Superman theme song. I didn't want the new Man of Steel. When you have Superman, he has a song that he's been played since Christopher Reeves and before. Just like Batman has his theme song from when Michael Keaton. So you can't change these songs. These are the songs. These are the theme moments. So when I see Man of Steel, it's like, all right, maybe they'll play it now. They never did.
When you said Man of Steel, I was thinking of the boxing movie Steel.
Hilarious.
Yo,
and that movie made me cry, man. I was like, "Come on, baby!" I was like, "Oh, you ain't talking about
that was a good movie.
Yeah,
that is a very slept on movie.
That movie and Warrior with Tom Hardy.
Warrior was great.
Oh yeah.
When he was stubborn, he was too stubborn to give up.
Yep.
I was like, man, I was done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That's a good fight movie.
That's pretty good.
That's a good fight movie. Shit. So what are some other top fight movies we got there? So that'll be our top tier for this. What
fight movies. Damn, that Rocky 3 was pretty fire.
That's what Clubber Lane and Hulk Hogan.
Yo, Clubber Lane. That when you watch the trailer to Creed 3, you think it's gonna be Lane son or something. You're like, come on, man. And then when you see it, you're like, oh, great, this is a completely original story. But it's kind of hard to compete with the Rocky movies when you talk about fight films. Warrior is definitely a close second.
I mean, you got that. You got Southpaw. Southpaw was pretty good.
Southpaw was amazing. The Hurricane, but I don't really like the Undisputed, of course. I don't really like the movies where a black man is convicted of something that he didn't do. You know what I mean? And then he got
no. He did that shit. Like, that's the thing I liked about Undisputed. No, he did that shit. And that's
I'm talking about Hurricane.
Oh yeah, no, Hurricane, no. Undisputed, no. Ice did that shit. He killed that person.
Yeah.
You in here for a reason. What else? But it's not even just like sports wise, like stuff that's based on it. So like even Mortal Kombat is considered like a fight movie.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 1, because we don't acknowledge part 2. Mortal Kombat 1 was so good. Another movie with the iconic theme song.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat. That's the
one. Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? If you want the cheat code to a movie, bro, people give you grace points as long as you got the theme song. Yeah. If you make a movie that is a 6 out of 10 and you add the classic theme song or a dope ass theme song with it and keep playing it throughout the movie, it'll change the 6 to a 7.5 to an 8. And an 8 is all you need to get a sequel.
No, he's right. That definitely did that for Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I was like, this is a hot 6. And then Professor X came out. And
come on.
I'm like, well, this is 7 now. We're at a 7 now.
And they never even played that theme song for the original X-Men.
Nope.
That's wild.
That's what I'm saying. You can't make these movies and not give the theme song, bro. Fans, okay, real comic book fans are going because they want to see something accurate. And fans of the franchise, of maybe like they watched a cartoon or, you know, they got the stories from their cousin from the comics, they're going to get that nostalgia.
Yeah.
Whatever they're going for, they want what they're going for. And if you don't give it to them, you just lost a possible fan.
Speaking of which, because you know, y'all need to be listening to this Marvel. Spider-Man 4, I need to have the Amazing Spider-Man TV show intro music in there somehow. Somehow. When that guitar hit that, I need that in there. I need that somewhere in there playing. Remix to whatever. I need that in there.
That's a fact.
Do we know the plot yet of Spider-Man 4?
Nah, it got to have something to do with Venom because they show Venom. This got to be his Venom one, bro.
Or Craven the Hunter.
Craven's getting his own spinoff. So it's like, I mean, his own origin movie. So they wouldn't have him fight him yet unless they add him to the Venom story.
I'm nervous for Sony, man. I'm nervous, man. They're going to have to figure out a way to do another deal with Marvel, man, because they have failed solo with Sony.
Nah, but it's still a Marvel one. That's what they were saying because Tom Holland is still in it. So this
also it's going to be Marvel Sony.
Yeah, it's a Marvel Sony. Yeah, okay. It's the 4th addition to that deal.
I don't think Tom would do a solo Sony movie with Spider-Man. I mean, that's just me guessing. I mean, like Sony is killing it right now with Into the Spider-Verse. If Into the Spider-Verse would have bombed, Marvel would have been able to buy Spider-Man back.
Well, you got but you got to now make these other ones not bomb. So like, what it is, Madam Spider got a hit. Craven the Hunter got a hit. And those two, and it's like those two, I'm like, good luck with that. Venom 3 got a hit. It's like You lucky with Venom because you don't need that much of a story.
No.
The only one that saved him was Morbius, and then when they kind of do the spinoff, when they have the
that's when they need their focus. Morbius 2. It's Morbius time. That's what's gonna save the franchise, all right? Morbius 2. And then what it needs to be, we need Mo Tyrese. We need Mo Tyrese, okay? Now, see you shaking your head, CT, but this is why I'm gonna bring you around. As we get ready for Morbius, we're gonna throw Jason Statham in there.
Why you?
Jason Statham gonna come save the day.
And let me tell you something. If Jason Statham was Craven, I would be all in.
Why did that not happen?
Because they don't think. They keep trying to. Executives are looking at things like, well, you know, we gotta get somebody. They wouldn't even bring Wesley Snipes back for Blade, and they were like, yeah, he's too old. But you hired Mahershala Ali, who was not that much younger than him. That's what blew my mind. You're gonna start the franchise with a man who's in the same age group as Wesley Snipes, but you won't bring back Wesley Snipes.
And Wesley can fight.
Hey,
Wesley can fight.
Wesley Snipes was a senior, and he was a freshman in high school.
Yo, I'm about to look at it right now. Mahershala.
You know the nigga that did that terrible movie with Mike Tyson? He would have been a better
Blade. He looks like him. Mahershala is 49. All right. Wesley Snipes.
It's like 60.
Damn. All right. Wesley is 60. However,
that's that. But again, too, like how long we've been waiting on Blade?
We've been waiting on that Blade for a minute.
Yeah. He would have been that same age.
And he's supposed to be a vampire who don't age. They need to get a nigga that's 23.
Yeah, do that. The dude who played, you hit it on the head, Dion. The guy who just played Mike Tyson on the Hulu series, who's also in this new Hulu series playing somebody. He's Hulu'd up. He got a contract. He got a 6-picture deal. He would be a great Blade. Also, Yalan from Insecure would be an incredible Blade. Because he had that. He got so yoked and he was ready in the Purge movie, the first Purge.
Yeah,
there's a plethora of young black actors that could have played Blade.
Speaking of which, of young black actors, I just want to throw this out there so it's on camera. I don't know if we talked about this, but I feel like we may have. What's that dude from Bridgerton? The black guy? What is it? Reggie Jean Page? I know that's not it. I know it's not Reggie.
Light skin dude, right?
Yeah. He should be Dr. Doom.
Okay.
He should be Dr. Doom.
He talking. Why do you think?
If you going for a young type of person because of his style, one, he is in the realm of a handsome man, and because of like what Dr. Doom's story is, I could see him going crazy from being able to lose all of that appeal that he has, all of that vanity that he has, and really portray that character. And then the fact that Jonathan Majors is Kang, that lines in with us being able to understand where the melanated side of him comes from, seeing as how he is Dr. Doom's, descendant or ascendant?
It's descendant, if that's what you're going for. But if that's the descendant of him, I didn't know that.
Yeah, both him and Reed Richards. So that was like, this is weird. Yeah. So you don't know which Kang belongs to him and which one is to like Nathaniel. But the ones toward Ireland is the one supposed to be more on the Nathaniel Richards side.
Wow. That's where it gets complex, because that makes sense if you get the John dude. But right now, I don't know, man. I just don't want. I want Majors to stay special. In wrestling, Brock Lesnar came back, and I want to say 2013. Something like that.
Yeah.
And they kept Brock Lesnar as a special event, right? Yeah. Every time you saw him, it was an event. You knew tickets were about to go off the shelves. I want that for Jonathan Majors. I don't want them to oversaturate his Kang.
Yeah.
And that's why I like him being picked, because one, it's not stopping the star shine of Jonathan Majors, and we get to see him build himself on another side of the phase 5 and 6 spectrum. So being able to see him face Fantastic Four in his realm, and then to see him get himself built up almost to us where it's like, okay, how we have to do like a Brock Lesnar, for example, who are we going to build up to be in this rivalry with him? And so like I even see him as the Seth Rollins, building him up to where it's like, oh, okay, dang, we seeing now these two superpowers come together and however they're about to start Secret Wars.
Well, apparently Spider-Man's Tom Holland is going to be the lead in Avengers Kang Dynasty.
Oh,
I see that if you're doing Young Avengers. If you're doing the Young Avengers, I see that.
I'm upset. I think we need to stay away from Kang for a while because Phase 4 has a lot of local villains that we haven't dealt with. They just kind of went away. And it's like, yo, y'all can't just leave us hanging with all these postponed. What happened to so-and-so? What happened to this?
We still got to deal with the Skrulls. Like, the Skrulls is a big part of Marvel. Like, they just kind of made that seem like it wasn't nothing in this universe.
What I do hate about TV shows when they have local villains and all of a sudden they have like a collaboration for a bunch of TV shows and they postpone their villains that they do a little bit now and they deal with this and they come back to it the opposite episode. That's what I don't want from Phase 4. I want y'all to deal with this shit right now. Postpone Kane far away. And then deal with the hand is coming out the water.
I was just going to say it. I was like, yo, can y'all please tell us something about this? There ain't no way no one's talking about there's a celestial head and arm sticking out in the fucking water.
Every single Phase 4 has a booking, like not a booking, it's like something that's like something happened. What's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said it best too, like, I think what we didn't really like attach to Ant-Man, as we talked about in the previous episode, was that it was a good movie, but the wrong villain.
Yeah.
MODOK should have been the main villain.
Yeah.
It was set there. It was perfect. Y'all had already written us for us. Yo, went to the quantum realm. Everybody think he's dead. Yo, he done built this entire thing because he's a supercomputer. Finds that signal, brings them down, and now he wants to reap revenge. Even had a little Cassie moment where it's like, don't be a dick. It's like, yo, that could have been that. Kang is so special that it's like, yo, you want to see kind of like how you did Thanos. I want to see him pulling the strings. I want to see the smallest parts where he's putting the pieces together. I like seeing that. Like, you could have really showed Ant-Man all the way through and then gave us that Easter egg of Victor
Exactly.
Yeah. So we knew what we were getting into.
Because now you're letting me know he's the villain in Loki season 2, and then we get Kang Dynasty. It's like, don't oversaturate this. He's super special.
Yeah.
Kang, Kang, the Conqueror, got beat by Ant-Man.
Yeah.
That bothers me. I wish he just went away. I wish he got out.
I still think he did. I still think he did, and I think that's who's going to become Kang Prime. I think that's what happened. I don't think he's dead.
I wish Ant-Man and the Wasp got stuck in the quantum realm. I you know what I'm saying, like, leave us like, oh shit, what's going to happen now? I don't know.
They're stuck somewhere, and you know what? So here's my hear me out. Here's my hear me out. I think Ant-Man did not make it back. I don't think any of them made it back. I think the Beyonder has them in a simulation awaiting Secret Wars. Because if you notice at the end how everything changed, it kept going in a loop. Everything he saw was a loop. The same people he was talking to at one point were behind him now, and then I saw them again having a conversation. And so, like, even like watching some of the videos, how they say, that could be like editing cuts. It was like, yo, you notice that? You also notice a lot of shit is now green and purple. Yeah. The cake, why was the cake green? They're very rare. Wouldn't Ant-Man have a red cake with an ant on it? Why was it green? There's a lot of pieces in there to make me think somebody is pulling strings to get them ready for Secret Wars.
All right.
Never thought about that.
I don't know who Beyonder is. I gotta look him up.
Oh, Beyonder.
That's the other version of who started Secret Wars. There's another version too, and I think I'm saying the right person, who Beyonder. And then there's another version of Secret Wars that is centered around like Dr. Doom and Kang.
There it is.
So.
Yeah, it is.
This is good.
This was good. So,
I had a fat eye. Oh shit! What happened to your eye, bro?
I thought you really did. The way you was kind of. I was like, wait a minute. But yeah, man, we talked about the Turtles. We really jumped into Creed 3. Really just had a good conversation. So just to catch up with some of the quick points, like we won't dive too much into them, but something that we were going to discuss. I always say his name wrong, but I call him John Benadryl, and that's not his name at all. But the guy that plays Punisher is
John Bernthal. Oh, listen to me right now, bro.
Let's go.
John Bernthal. I'm gonna give you a little quick story time. The movie Fury came out with Brad. Was it Brad Pitt?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Brad Pitt,
Shia
LaBeouf, John Bernthal, and my man from Percy Jackson. And bro, Tangerine took me to the screening of it. TANJ. For those of you guys that are watching, everybody be trying to spell it like the fruit. I know, but it's TANJ. So Tangerine takes me to the screening of it, and we get a chance to see, the actors. It's a Q&A. At the end of it, I watched John Bernthal look up at the whole audience. Everybody was going to Shia. Everybody was going to Brad Pitt. And he was just standing off to the side, just like looking at everybody. And I walked up to him because there was no line to get to him. He was, nobody really knew him at this point. He was fresh off Walking Dead, but people weren't going up. And I say, hey, man, how does it feel? He's like, man, it feels good, man. And I was like, dude, I wish you nothing but the best, man. He's like, thank you so much, man. I was like, yeah. And then shook hands, and then I went off. And I remember that humble spirit that brother had, and I see it in everything he does now. And I say that to say, when he became the Punisher, nobody was happier than I was, because he embodied for the first time on camera the fully rounded Punisher. Yeah. Punisher 2 War Games was a great Punisher for that time. Yeah. But he didn't look the part, and he was, it was just like, come on, man. This John made you believe that the Punisher was a biofilm instead of a comic book movie.
That man made me believe that before I even seen him in the first 10 minutes. Like, bro, when he shot up that Italian joint and then Daredevil finally found him, I was like, yo, this is Punisher. And then when he had him on the ground, bang, I'm like, oh, he really just shot him. And it just went off. I was like, yo, that's Daredevil. That's Daredevil.
His scream, every time John Bernthal screamed.
Now I got to know, though, too, when you met him,
yeah,
is it that type of tone when he talks, or is it kind of, like the regular things when he said, nah, man, I'm just really glad to be here? Or was it one of those, yeah, I'm really glad to be here? Does he talk like Punisher, or is it like a different type of voice?
He put it like this. You've seen his interviews.
Yeah.
He speaks with a lower register than the interviews, because interviews are up here, and it's like this, but it's not Punisher.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was wondering when you said it. Like, I just picture him at the panel, like, yeah, it's just all taking it in. Just like, I don't know.
Pete, when I saw this, is what made me become an even bigger fan of his beyond the moment of meeting him. When I saw him post a picture of his childhood friends that he still has to this day, and all of them were not only black, but they were you understand? When I saw that, I said, that's why he's so fucking cool.
He's a good actor, man. Don't forget he played in King Richard as this guy.
Yep.
Hilarious.
Hey, he had that same mustache, just put his hair up and then went shot Wolf of Wall Street. That was it. He didn't change the look.
I forgot this is the Punisher. He had this little voice right here. He was talking like that.
No, he's a great actor, man. That, like you said, though, that's one of those ones. Whenever you see him in something, it's like, yo, good for you, bro. Like, you feel that energy. Like, I'm glad you in this film. Yeah, you can tell you putting your all into it. Like, seeing him, that prison fight scene, bro. I was like, yo, only he could make it feel like that. Like, you felt the intensity of this man down the hallway with nothing but prisoners. It's like, yo, that's very hard for you to bring that out of just a shot of you shooting. I'm like, props to him. Yeah, just props to him.
Bro, we about to get the Punisher and Daredevil. When does this come out? Next year or this year?
Next year.
Damn. Next year. I'm so ready for this damn show.
They just started filming.
Hold on. So I don't know if we were joking about this, but Iron Fist is not on Disney Plus, right?
No, it's on there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please. Don't do that. All of those Netflix shows went over there. Okay.
I was like, yeah, we'll buy all of them except that one.
Except y'all keep that. That's all that.
I don't never see it in the suggestions tab. Now I will say that. If you go to the Marvel tab of Disney Plus, it ain't never up there. Like they'll even show like, hey, watch Defenders.
You got dust on it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at the clearance bin. Look at this,
bro.
You go click on the little picture and it's like, I'm sorry, did you mean Willow?
Did you mean Willow? That show. Here's what messed me up about Iron Fist, bro. At the end of season 1, if you sat through season 1 and you watched it, and they went towards I forget the name of it, but the place that we all wanted to see the entire season.
Yeah.
Then they start season 2, episode 1, talking about, yeah, that was a crazy place, huh? And it's like, oh, bro.
Yeah, that did have me hot. Like
That pissed me off.
So we didn't get to see this promised land?
Right.
And then 1 and 2 should have just been season 1. Like season 1 could have been caught up in 5 episodes, and then the other 5 could have been season 2, where we'd at least seen where he got both the fists.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, season 2, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever is going to come. We didn't got past you. We didn't got through your past. Bring on Heroes for Hire. Like, I'm ready to see Heroes for Hire now. Never happened.
They did not give us that. And then, because I played as Iron Fist in the video games, and I saw a little bit of him in cartoons, but I wasn't really familiar with him, but I knew what he was supposed to look like. And the whole season 1, I was like, how come he don't look like what I know he's supposed to look like? And then I started seeing everybody talk about how bad it was, and I was like, this makes sense. I wasn't wrong.
Yeah. Nah, that boy never put that mask on. I was like, yo, that's the closest thing white people got to do rags, and y'all ain't gonna let them see it?
Now, Luke Cage season 1, fire. Luke Cage season 2 was not bad. The ending of Luke Cage season 2 was trash, because it's like, how dare you at the end of 2 seasons make him the bad guy?
Yeah, there was a lot of things in that I didn't like. Like, I didn't like that one Cottonmouth got killed first half of the season, and y'all made him seem like he's the big bad. And then Mariah Dillard still did not seem like the big bad.
No.
Then you threw another big bad in there. It's like, oh yeah, he got a brother that's behind all of this, and he's been planning this. I'm like, I thought he was dead. Why would he know all this? Like, what? This don't make no sense. Yeah, and then two was like, Bushmaster's pace was great, but they should have made it strictly about Bushmaster and Luke Cage being stuck in the middle of this war between him and Mariah Dillard.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a good story because of the fact of everything they had been through with each other's families. They should have brought the entire city of Harlem to war. And Luke Cage is in the middle trying to handle it, and it's out of fucking control. Like, they gave us little glimpses of it, but it wasn't enough. Like, it should have been pure chaos between these two people.
I agree.
They ain't give us that. And then, like you said, at the end, it's like, oh, both of these people are gonna die, and now Luke Cage is the bad guy in a low mustard color suit.
That was so stupid. It was like, did I miss an episode in between the last episode moments?
Yeah, like, did he get bribed and we didn't see that or something like that? Like, what happened?
Then Jessica Jones, season 1, incredible. Season 2, what are we doing?
Man, that mom, bro.
Come on.
I only watched the first season of all of them just to get to the Defenders.
And then you got to the Defenders and we're let down.
Yeah, that was like, I'm done with all these.
Yo, Defenders didn't make no sense. And you know what it was too? It was because Daredevil did the same thing as Luke Cage, did the same thing as even like Iron Fist, where they gave multiple characters. Well, really, they got that from him. Where they gave multiple stories, where they did Daredevil and Elektra.
Yeah.
It didn't mess him up because both stories were fired. Mm-hmm. And either one could have been the main plot. The problem was you made that bleed over to Defenders and didn't give us anything. Mm. And so now it's like, and she died at that. So it was just like, yo, Defenders should have been her dying there. and then seeing what happens to her. And it shouldn't have been about the hand. It should have been about straight Elektra and what she's done. But it was just like, yeah.
Question is, if these characters are going to cross over to the MCU, like the Daredevils and that the whole little universe, Mahershala Ali was definitely in Daredevil, Luke Cage, right?
Yeah, he was Cottonmouth.
Yeah, and the mom of the same show was in Iron Man
Civil War,
right?
Different character, but yeah.
I know.
Also, let's not forget, Mariah Dillard was also in Avengers. Remember, she was downstairs and gave him the picture.
No, that's Civil War.
No, I thought that was Age of Ultron.
No, that's Civil War.
Oh shit! Okay. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Because that's
right after he finished the speech, she pushed the elevator. Yeah.
I was like, do they recognize the people? I know they do that. They just kind of blow past, like, hey, I never met you before.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Eternals. Like, the chick that is the star of it, she was in Captain Marvel. She's one of the aliens. She was one of the main forces. The
hilarious.
Yeah, that's the same person.
Yeah, casting is always very funny because
it's too many actors, man. Why?
Too many actors for you to be doubling up. But then it's like, how do you take that? Like, as a young actor or as an actor that hasn't gotten a big look, you get offered a role of pizza guy number 3 in a Marvel movie. You like, yes. And then you do that, then you go raise your stake. And now they're like, hey, would you like to play a superhero? You're like, yes, I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then also too the same thing of like being good. So like for instance, in both ways. So like let's say we've been given to like CT. Like CT does a great job in Luke Cage season 3 as like the dude that bought the shop and stuff like that. And so it's like, yo, like you really did well. Like you really read over with our audience and they latched on to you. And it's like, yo, it kind of sucks because we want to bring you back because you're so good, but it's like that role kind of is limited. So it's like, yo, like let's try to put you in something else. And so it's just like, I see why people would do that. Like even for someone like yourself, like if I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. No, I like seeing CT in this new role because I get to see him more. And I did kind of get attached to him as an actor because he stood out. And then you also had the other side of it, kind of like like the guy that played Moon Knight, where you have to redeem yourself. It's just like, well, yo, I didn't choose to make Apocalypse like this.
Yeah.
And so I know y'all not finna use that same Apocalypse no more. So it's like, can I get a redo and get cast this movie?
Man.
But that was Fox before it became Disney, so he got a pass.
He is. And he's the villain on the new Spider-Man.
Yep. He's Spider-Man 2099.
He's the voice of.
Oh, animated. Got you. Yeah, Oscar Isaac been working ever since Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Like he's been working before that, but like Ex Machina, he came in there, he was bald head with the beard, he was kind of yoked, and he played the role so perfectly. The calls just continued to come in and they haven't stopped. James McAvoy, incredible young Professor Xavier. I don't know what they're gonna do with these X-Men, but it need to happen immediately.
Yeah, man, we'll make that. We'll make that the last time.
Huh?
Y'all want Black Professor Xavier and Magneto?
I don't want that.
I don't want that either. I don't want you to try to latch that on to what we know it is, like civil rights, and then you have a white person trying to depict that for us. I don't want you tying that into our mutants. Like we get the mutant tone of what it is and stuff like that. I don't need you to try to make it so like, hey, let's make this person black. Let's make Magneto black. It's like, no, Magneto gotta be white. Like you know exactly why it gotta be white. If you and stuff. Like you can't just change that. So it's just like I'm cool with that. Now the other X-Men and stuff like that, yo, yeah, we can diversify this up. Like I wouldn't mind Asian Kitty Pryde. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind you changing some of that stuff up. I wouldn't mind, Cyclops being Latino. Just make sure he's arrogant. Make sure he's an a-hole. I wouldn't mind that at all. But just them two, like, no, like some people you don't need to change. And I'm gonna say for them two, like keep them cast for like, someone of the Caucasian side.
Let me ask y'all this. This is a serious question, and I'm going to end with this. All right. Do y'all feel bad for X-Men, people with power, and the world is scrutinizing them for having powers, calling them muties, and like, you're different, you're a freak? Do you feel bad for the X-Men, or you be like, yeah, I kind of get it?
Well, let me ask you this.
I've never heard a nigga be called muty, nigga. I've only heard
like, you muty.
You've let that slide 6 times this episode, and I done gave you a pass all 6 until now. The buck stops here.
I want to send you the link.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Series.
I don't want to hear it. They're mutants now. I definitely don't. I get both sides because people fear what they don't understand, right? So I get the aspect of this normal dude who is walking down the street and you see a guy coming down with frog eyes and he has, like a super long limb, and you like, what the fuck? And then you run the other way. I get that. I also get being the frog guy and people staring at you in fear. So I think that's always been the interesting dichotomy of X-Men, is you being able to see both sides, but you always side with the Beast because you see more of their perspective, because if they've given you nothing to fear, why are you so afraid of me? And if I'm telling you
about being androids, y'all are the only people that hate that we have androids. All right, y'all always say
that is not. No.
Why don't you have a green bubble? You are different. You freak. You're making my life like hell. That's how I feel.
Because
great full circle.
And here's 2 things to a plot hole in that circle. One, you're comparing an AI which is missing something from what we're talking about with mutants, which is a soul. And so if anything is shown from an AI, you're making something that does not like you. It is taught to make things perfect in what they're supposed to be doing. You understand, humans are the most imperfect beings on this planet. Mm-hmm. This is why they choose to keep killing us every time they start making this stuff, because y'all messing up our way of life and your own way of life. Mm-hmm. So we got to take you out.
Yeah. Thank you, iPhone.
So, but even for the mutant thing, I like how CT say, I understand both sides. Where you start to side with it is because I would like if we had mutants around now. I'm not judging you, but I definitely don't feel like because you got frog guys and walking around that someone should come physically harm you or mentally harm you or verbally harm you because of how you do.
Those are good ones, because you don't know one of these niggas can snap. Like, you know how strong I am? Do you know what I can do?
Yeah, but it's also that responsibility. Like, even for us, like to someone like Michael B. Jordan, like I'm the juggernaut compared to his size.
Yeah,
and I could do anything to him, but it's my choice to fit myself into society and follow the norms that y'all give. Because like if you really think about it, Dion, like if you were in a room right now with the people you're normally in, if you wanted to get to somebody and fuck them up, do you really think anyone could stop you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Looking at both of y'all and people who are watching this, you don't know this, but when you look at the 3 of us, I'm the smallest of all 3 of us. Dion is the tallest. He has the size. Will Pharaoh is a building. Like if you stand next to Will Pharaoh, he can demolish you with the snap of his fingers. And they are both gentle giants, right? I'm not so much of a gentle giant as I will make my presence imposing upon you if I don't like the area that I'm in. But that's just like you said, it's a choice. We're choosing to, great power comes great responsibility. I'm not about to be a bully or pick on anybody just because I'm bigger than them. But you have certain mutants, and that's why it's always been interesting. You got the good mutants. And then you got the mutants that are like, yo, I'm tired of being pushed around. I'm about to push back. And those are the Magneto acolytes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
But ladies and gentlemen, like let us know what you think. This was a very great, riveting conversation today, man. We talked about the Ninja Turtles. We talked about Creed, man. We done talked about the Kang Dynasty again. We talked about Dr. Doom. Man, we've discussed a lot. We want to hear from you and what you think. So make sure you put in the comments below. And I want to thank y'all for checking out the episode. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, cut on your notifications so y'all know when this is coming on. And of course, before we get out of here, I always want to make sure that y'all know where to support Dion Lack and CT. So I'm going to let them go ahead and have the floor. Dion, you are first.
Follow me on all platforms at DionLack. Dion Lack. That's it.
Nice. Get to your boy. Just go to the Patreon, man. It's all there. So what y'all want to do? Y'all want to go on Sunday to see the Jason Statham movie?
I don't even know what this movie is called.
Saturday would be better.
Can't do Saturday. I got a show out in the IE. But we can do Friday during the day.
I'm down for Friday.
Dion Lack.
Operational portion. Friday night. My daughter has something.
She got something Friday night?
Yes.
I said Friday during the day. Yeah, she ain't got shit during the day, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was like, what?
They already had that excuse ready.
Yeah,
boy.
I was like, wait, what?
Well, actually, her event starts at 6. Great, nigga. We said during the day.
And he ain't gave no time.
He didn't. I can't. What time does that start, Dion?
That works with pictures.
I'm a volunteer at the Science Center.
Oh, really? You gonna volunteer? What time you gonna volunteer?
I don't know the time, yo. Whatever time school hours is.
Oh, what? Oh, school hours are usually from 8 until 2:30 at the latest.
Okay,
so you gonna be there during that time, right?
Depends on what. I don't know what time I'm leaving. I got you though, man.
Nah,
you
man.
said, no. I see what CT talking about now.
Exactly.
No.
This is Dion every day.
Yeah, because technically school done it too, and it's a Friday, so I know they closing early on you.
No.
So from 2 to 5, you're available.
Yeah.
No.
To the point where we can even come to a theater closer to you, so you can get on faster.
Yeah. What you think about that, Lack?
For sure.
That's
Son of a bitch.
Right. When people say sure, that is the most sarcastic way of like.
You know what?
really.
Here's the thing, bro. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't like leaving my fucking house. I don't threaten me with a good time. We don't have to take you to do shit for your birthday. As a matter of fact, we not. You just talk yourself out of it.
More so like, why are we doing this on camera? I'm like, why are we doing this now?
Because the people are invested. We started this shit on camera. We got to end it on camera. Damn it.
It started like this.
So you know what? We rescind our offer. I called you. He sent you a text. You all good, Playboy. Don't make us feel bad about trying to do something for your ass.
I'm gonna send both of y'all the screenshots of me gotta go to think my daughter, and I gotta
what? The photo shoot, huh? The photo shoot didn't even get mentioned till just now. That's crazy.
Right.
Shit keep popping up.
When I said I got some Friday night, and I was like, okay, that was a photo shoot Friday night, and my thing is for my daughter in the morning.
Yeah,
so
morning and night. Hey, enjoy your Friday.
Right?
Enjoy your Friday, brother. Because we gonna be doing stuff that we want to do. So enjoy your Friday, man.
So you let me know, CT. I'm down to go see you.
Yeah. Now that our whole Friday is open, we can go Friday night. Will
Right.
This nigga Dion. All right, fellas, I'm out of here, man. This nigga Dion is stifling my mood. Goodbye.